Hello, this is Marina from speaking from Los Angeles with a very dear friend of mine, all the way back in London, England. And I know that he got amazing news to share, and I'm going to invite him to tell you his story and what's happening next in his life and why is he so excited. Hi, John.
Hi, how you doing?
Very good.
Okay, should I start from now?
Yeah, so tell me,
Okay.
what's happening in your life since we last met about 2 years ago?
Well, a lot of things have happened, and some good, some bad, I have to say. Some things have been extraordinarily good. So last 2 years, I've actually lost both my parents. My mum died this year, but don't let that worry you. My
Sorry
book
to hear
came
that.
out. Yeah, it happened. So it's anyway. So that was a real downer, and in the meantime, I also lost my job. I was actually doing high-speed photography of car impacts, but before that, my background was in broadcast and television, and I've done some very interesting shoots around the world. One was around the world with the Royal Navy for 9 months, filming them on tour around the world, and with Bon Jovi for 5 months, going to Russia and China. So in the past couple of years, I've really been concentrating on moving my knowledge of what I know and actually getting it to other people to help them to move on into filmmaking. And since I lost my job, made redundant at the high-speed photography place, it really kind of moved on to impetus to actually get me to move and actually get this knowledge out of me and actually into a book. And I'm actually in the process of launching my new book, which you know about, which is about.
Yes, and I'm very excited about. So what is the title of your new book?
It's called The Moonlight Illusion, and it's basically how the lessons we can learn from filmmaking and how we can take that and actually turn it into lessons for business, other businesses, or actually planning out your life from now on. It's a bit of an interesting kind of connection because the background of movies is everything's a facade. The Moonlight Illusion, which I'll let you read the book to understand, viewers, to let you understand what the Moonlight Illusion is, but it is actually something I saw, and I didn't think of it at the time. About when I was in the Sahara Desert probably about 9 years ago now, 10 years ago, and everything was in black and white in the Sahara Desert. So it was moonlight night, but everything was in black and white, and there's a very good reason for that. And I realized that everything we see in movies is actually a facade. I've been on sets of major movies in Pinewood, and it's just bits of wood and against the wall, and everything you see is a facade. For example, in Kubrick's Eyes Wide Shut, the whole scene, the whole street was made in Pinewood backlot, not in New York or wherever. It's actually in Pinewood Studios in sunny Hertfordshire. So it got me thinking about a lot of things are a facade, and actually when you see behind it, it's actually quite simple and quite basic. That's a very brief explanation of it, but ask me more.
So this is very powerful. Actually, you want to inspire people to look at things in a different way. So instead of being overwhelmed by what they could have in their life, they have to go behind the scenes and find out how they could apply the shortcut to their own life and make that illusion in their own mind become a reality. Is that the message?
Very much that, yeah. Basically, I've devised the movie principle, which means you've got to get your mindset right first off. That's probably the most crucial thing. If you don't have the right mindset, you won't actually create what you actually need to do to move on. Secondly, you've got to be outstanding, and be outstanding in everything you do, and actually don't just play at it and actually just go full out. Thirdly, you need to have a vision, And actually, like, for example, when they're making a movie, say, for example, Star Wars, for example, they're shooting at the moment in Pinewood, there's a vision from a visionary who actually plans out the whole thing in their head beforehand, and then gets in a whole load of people and a whole load of resources for that one film, but then it all dissipates again. Now, the way things are planned, it's actually very meticulously planned. There's nothing that goes to chance. Every shot is pre-planned, what day they're shooting it and who's there and all the rest of it, all the people, all the resources that are needed, like props and lighting and whatever. And if people and businesses, actually two parts to this, people and businesses, people individually, took a bit of that on board and actually planned what they're going to do from now on, and actually what on the deadlines and actually what the end result would be, they could actually plan out their future and their mindset. So actually, if they wanted to achieve something, they could actually use a movie principle to actually achieve that. And actually, there's many more M's and O's and V's and I's. The I for movie means individual. Basically, still be who you are, but be like individual. Be yourself, and actually don't take what other people tell you to be. You know, don't be brought down by the people who tell you it's not going to work. That's pretty much what I'm saying. And the E of movie is epics. Basically, if you're going to do something, make it big. And actually, epic stands for other things as well, which I'll let you see when you see the book. But be big, think big. I mean, when Spielberg was making his films, Close Encounters, for example, he didn't think small. George Lucas making Star Wars, he didn't think small. It was like a 30-year epic he's been doing. And it's for that you can actually plan in short-term bursts and actually a longer-term bursts. Like after the Star Wars set gets dismantled, it'll be thrown in a skip somewhere and thrown away, probably most of it. But if you plan for that to happen and actually you move ahead throughout your life, you can actually do it in chunks of actually, okay, what do I want to do within 6 months' time? And I've taken the planning of goals from that, but it's actually more of a using how movies are made and actually put together, all resources all come together and a common goal to actually get something achieved and have people supporting you along the way to get things happening. And at the end of the day, everything happens, the actors are in place, the cameras are in place, the lighting, to get on a small sensor sort of this size, then it gets projected on a movie theatre. So yeah, it's very exciting, and actually it's one of these things. I just woke up one morning and thought that's a really kind of interesting idea, and I spoke to you, Marina, and you said, yeah, that's really good, but just do that little bit. And ultimately it was like, yeah, actually this is going to be massive, and I'm very excited about it, actually, the way it's developing. I was just been out to somewhere tonight. It's kind of late here tonight, but I've just been out to an evening event, and I walked in the door, and somebody's been seeing my Facebook post about the book, and they actually said, "Hey, it's John. You're really famous," and they hadn't even seen the book, and I literally walked in the door. I didn't know them.
I know, and we are very excited about you coming over to collect your award from the Authors Award ceremony on the 29th of August this summer in Hollywood. And it will be a perfect set for you, but you'll walk on the red carpet, you'll be celebrated, and I'm very, very grateful that you accepted our invitation. And coming back to what you said, because I'm thinking now that many times when I'm coaching my clients, I'm telling them that actually life is a blank canvas. They have the colors available to choose the colors and start painting, and it's their choice to be just another painting or be a masterpiece. So you are teaching your clients similar concept where they have to start with the end in mind and follow that vision, but made it in a way that it's well planned and create a strategy to obtain the best results they can. And don't be sidetracked by people telling you that big dream is impossible, because everything is possible, and the movie industry proved it so many times. And the same way, entrepreneurs could take their big idea into the right set, create the set, be the producer of your own big idea, attract the right crew, the right cast, and everything is creating results that your big idea could become a true reality, could become your immediate reality, actually, depending on your plans. And I love that. I think people fail to create that vision, not because they are not capable of creating the vision, but because they are socially conditioned or made to believe that is too big. Do you think it's anything like too big to be made a reality?
My thing is to think big, and do it in bite-sized chunks. There's a classic thing about how do you, if you saw an elephant, you said, okay, go and eat the elephant. You think of it as a massive big task, and writing a book is like that. People think of, oh my word, I've got to write a book. When you break it down into smaller chunks and actually do it into chapters and then to subsections or anything, if you take a book as an analogy and actually break a film down into sections and actually break everything down into smaller pieces, it becomes much more manageable. And you'll then tend to sort of actually look at it as that's actually I can do that today. I can move that step further forward to where I want to be, as long as you know where the end goal is. And you actually want, for example, a movie, you can either make people cry, you can make them frightened, you can make them scared, you can make them happy, you can make them sad, and all a mixture of those in between. Now, life is about that. Life has those ups and downs, but if you go out with the intention to do something, say for example, make somebody happy, then as long as you're going along the line of actually making somebody happy in your plan, that may be helping other people, or it could be a whole load of different things. Then as long as you know where you're going to, when these obstacles come along the way, you get around them or get over them or whatever, you can actually move ahead and actually keep on focused on your goal. What I've done, apart from just goal setting, which people may think it's just goal setting, is related to what you have around you. And if you've only got a certain amount of limited income or your resources, a movie is a whole load of resources and talent come together. Surrounding yourself with the very best talent you possibly can, people who are thinking along the same lines as you, so you actually go along the same path together. They support you along the way, you support them. Anybody there who isn't supporting you along the way, just kind of ease them to side, or in a film they would just be got off the film set, because it's, there may be 80 or 100 people on a film set, and as long as they're supporting you along the way, you will have great strength from that. I mean, this evening I've just been to a thing called the Yes Group in England, and it's actually like-minded people who are wanting to move on and actually make things better in their lives. And actually that's a part of it. People can either stay in a job and actually say, well, actually I'll do this, I'll be really good at doing this, putting the screws on the top of this thing, but why not stretch yourself? And if you actually stretch yourself a little bit, it's amazing what you can achieve with your life and helping others. I mean, it goes across all sorts of barriers. This helping others is a major sort of thing, part of what I do. And currently I've been training people how to use video as a marketing tool. This isn't a particularly exciting example we're doing now, but this is a webcam. But it's actually getting your message across to somebody and actually using what you have available so that they can move ahead and actually achieve their goals, and actually do it step at a time, and actually have an end result, have an end title result. you can actually map it out at 6 months, or you could go, actually, this film is my life, and actually the end credits, if you like, is when we all disappear off the earth. And actually, if it's what you do between you're born and when you die, that's not too melodramatic, is actually what you do in that meantime is the important thing. If you then leave a legacy of what you've done in the past and leave a legacy to carry on by other people, then you've actually achieved something. And I think that's predominantly what I want to do, and I know other people want to do, is actually not just now, here, me and now, it's actually what happens 20, 30, 40, 50 years time, and the legacy that comes from it.
Thank you so much, John. Very inspiring. I'm very humbled by you spending time on talking on this topic, and I cannot wait to see you on the red carpet at the end of the summer. And I will make sure that the audience will have your details. And when the book is launched, they are going to have access to your book, because I think it's an absolutely awesome book. I think it captures a lot of wisdom and lots of shortcuts to obtaining results you never possibly dreamed before. So I'm very, very grateful. It's a good evening from me, and I'll see you very soon. Goodbye, John. Thank you.
Lovely talking to you. Great. See you. Bye.